What up, guys? It's your boy HarryWilmington here, and I'm here to answer a reader's question. I've been taking the month of August off for the most part because I got a lot of things up in the air. Right now, I'm getting ready to move into a new house, but I saw this message, seemed kind of urgent, and I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and answer it. If you guys have questions of your own, you can write to me at harrywilmington@gmail.com. So let's get into it. This guy writes, Hey, Harry. So there's a lady at work I was attracted to. We don't have to interact a lot, just saw her occasionally and we made eye contact several times in crowded rooms. So I thought there was something there. Well, I'll say this. Oftentimes, when a woman is staring at you, it doesn't necessarily mean she has the highest of interest, but she could be looking at you like, he's interesting. I want to know more about him. And that's really all you need from a woman at this point in time. Like, women aren't like guys where they see a guy and automatically they're completely smitten because outside of how we look, they don't really know how we're going to act towards them, if we're going to have good conversation, etc. Your job as a guy is to see those signals out in the wild and make a move towards talking to them, towards getting their number, etc. Now, obviously, in a work situation, it can be a bit tricky, but also 37% of relationships start in a work environment. So if you see something like that, it's always good to try to figure out a way to start a conversation up that can get you some more info about if she'd be willing to see you outside of work. Anyway, he says, I found her interesting, so I asked if she would like to get to know each other better in a coffee meeting with me at work. I will say this, I think that was a bad idea. Like, I think if you're going to be bold enough to ask women to spend time with you, it needs to be on an actual date and outside of work. Because who's to say if somebody that you guys work with walks by and sees you two just chatting, she could feel kind of apprehensive about other people seeing her interact with you at a time when she's not yet sure what her feelings for you are yet or what you're going to be in her life. So it's good that you made the move, but one, we don't do dates at work where other people can see us. And also, you don't schedule lunch dates. You know, it's very important that if you're trying to schedule a date with a woman, you schedule it for nighttime. Nighttime signals you're trying to do romance, you're trying to get to know her in a way that could lead towards potentially dating each other. And these are the signals early on that you don't have to verbally express out loud you want to date her, but those are the subtle cues women will read as, oh, he wants to take me out. He must be trying to impress me or trying to lead this towards something. Let's see what that's about. If you don't do those kind of things, the women can just think you're just asking them to a lunch thing just to be friendly or because, you're not any different than any other guy at her job that she would talk to or any other girl she would talk to that just wants a friendly lunch. So you need to try to be a bit bolder in your approach when you're doing this and ask them to say just something as simple as like, hey, you seem kind of cool. I'd love to meet outside of this for like a happy hour or drinks just to, converse and see what's what. Like, that's a braver, bolder move than you setting up a work thing. Anyway, he says we scheduled it. All good. The conversation was good. I was kind of reserved and steered only into safe topics, but relevant to life, etc., because it's the work environment. Good stuff. She was smiling and also laughing through. Women will do that in general. I mean, it's good that she's doing that, but just know that that's really not the tell-all signal that you need that indicates that she's building an interest because she'll do that with female friends and guy friends and gay friends and stuff like that, right? Now, with that said, what's coming up is where he dropped the ball. So he says, anyway, after 30 minutes exactly, she checks her phone and says she's got to go home. He says, I met her late in the afternoon, right? We still chat as we go towards my office. And then she asked me if I still have a lot to do. I answered truthfully, yeah, I came late, got to finish up some stuff. We said bye, and she left. All of what just happened is going to be relevant to the next thing I read. So he says, so my question is, could her question have been an invitation of sorts at the moment? I was thinking to ask her if she'd like to continue the chat outside of work the following day, but I didn't because the next morning I walked past her in the corridor, looked in the eyes and smiled, but she gave me the weirdest expression I've literally ever seen on a woman's face. Something between I feel awkward and I'm creeped out. Made me feel very confused. Also, the attraction was gone immediately, so I just left it at that and called it quits. Do you think there was an opportunity there right after the coffee, or was she just being polite? This one is new for me because I can usually tell if it's a yes or a no by now. Yes, it was a mistake. Yes, when she was asking you, so here's the thing. Here's how women operate. Because again, as I said on the show before, women can't always be so bold and direct with what they want because they're fearful of judgment from the rest of the world. So she can't say to you, hey, this is a great time. I got to go to my home. Do you want to come with me? Because the world at large is going to judge her. It can't be her fault that you somehow get to her place. So what she'll do instead is throw out things that are very like passive in their communication, but they're hoping that you as a guy are smart enough and have dated enough and know women enough to know that what she's throwing out, it's your job in the public sphere to make this look like it's your idea. So when she said, um, so do you have a lot of work to do? That was, I know that you answered that very literally. As a guy, you caught the literal thing of she wants to know exactly if I have stuff to do. So I'm going to say the literal answer, which is yes, I totally do. You always need to read 3 times more into women's communication than what is actually there. Because if you don't, as a guy, you're going to just read everything surface level and you're going to miss out on a bunch of signals that women are actually throwing you. So here's what she expected. When she said, so do you still have a lot to do? Your response was either supposed to be A, I mean, I have a little bit of work to do, but I mean, I'm totally free later. Why? What's up? Or you could say, I got work to do, but I mean, why? Were you trying to get into something else? Simple stuff like that. If you had said, are you trying to get into something else? She could have said, I mean, if you had some free time, I thought maybe we could hang a little bit more. And then you would say, well, that's cool. You said you were going to your place. Why don't we stop, get like a little bit of snack, then we can go back to your place and just chat and watch movies. Now, on the surface, you're thinking, but if I want to go to her place and do stuff with her, I'm not actually saying any of those things. Why would she read it as such? And the answer is because women have just the way that they operate, they always read more into what you're saying than you realize. And so if you would have said, oh, well, if you want to get something else? Okay, cool. Well, hey, if you want to just, hang out, chat a bit more at your place, we can stop, get some food along the way, and then go to your place and just chat a little bit. She would have known all of that is code for, I want to bang your brains out, but we're in public and I know you can't say that. So I'm going to put up a scenario that just magically gets me to your house. Hey, if you want to hang out a bit more, hey, why don't I, as the guy, suggest this a thing of like, let's get some food and then go to your place and just hang and talk and hang and talk. And if anybody else was hearing us, it's innocent enough to be like, we're just friends from work and we're just going home to her place to talk and eat some food. But she would know that there's now open possibility of her being open to hooking up with you. And you miss all that because most guys don't try to read deeper. And most guys also get frustrated about having to change up their communication patterns or why can't women just say stuff directly? Women have a whole different way of living and a whole different set of judgments they're looking out for that they don't want to deal with, including inviting a guy back to her place. So when she said, do you still have stuff to do? That was supposed to be the spark of a flame that gets on the dynamite wick that leads towards you saying, why don't we go to your place and have food and talk? And whether or not you talked or not at the place, nobody would have to know except you and her. But yeah, so that's why the next day, more likely than not, it felt awkward. And I've been through the same situation when I was in college and still a virgin. I definitely went out with a woman one time who invited me back to her dorm room after a movie we saw so I could just see what it looks like. And I went in there, saw what it looked like, and was like, this place is nice, but it's so small because it's big ass bed. What are we supposed to do? And I said to her, well, I gotta go. This has been great. Thanks for showing me your room. I'm out. Do. And it wasn't until like the next day when I was like, wait a minute. She invited me to a place. I got to her room. I sat on bed. Oh man. It's because I missed her. I literally just took her as she just wants me to see the room. That's all that's happening. And as guys, I get it. There's situations that happen where guys misread stuff. And then all of a sudden we're in a situation where it's like, oh, we're getting charged with harassing somebody or doing whatever because we didn't read the proper signals. And that's why the best mode of operandi is when she throws things out like this, always keep in your mind this, that 2 things could happen. Either you're going to get some or you're not. Always be cool with not getting some while making the moves to potentially get you some. Why do I say that? Because if you're making moves that indicate you're down to get some, it's bold enough for her to be like, oh, he's a real dude. He actually is one to like go after what he wants. And he knows what signals that they're out there publicly that I can then latch onto so we can do stuff later. But also, let's say that was all true And then he gets to her place, and then all of a sudden she's like, I changed my mind. I don't want to do stuff. Boom, you just say, okay, cool. I'm also cool with not getting some, because my motive operandi is always, I'm down to just show you a good time in whatever capacity that means. If we go to your place and we just eat and we talk, I'm having a great time. If we just so happen to want to do some stuff after that of an adult nature, I'm also cool with that. But if it doesn't happen, it's not going to take away from my good time. If you're not butthurt about that, then you'll be willing to make more bold moves. And just if a woman rejects it or doesn't want to go to the next step, you just say, okay, no problem. And when you get to that level, women will actually be like, wait, he said he was cool with it? Okay. So he's not trying to control me to do it? That's interesting. Now I want to do some stuff. Amazing how that works. So in terms of this girl at work, like, weird look. I don't know if you're not attracted to her anymore, don't do anything. If she's not attracted to you, it is what it is. But if you happen to get in that space again where you guys are able to talk and chat at work and be funny and cordial, maybe just say, hey, you know what? I found a new restaurant I want to try out after work tomorrow. Was thinking maybe you and I could hang out there and just kind of see what's what, and then see what she says. But keep it vague, keep it simple like that. If she says yes to it, great. And then remember, always be listening for things that they're saying. Look at it. Don't look at it just as a surface level. Look at it and see, like, what could she actually mean? But anything that indicates that she's like, hey, so this was fun. I wish it wasn't going to end. Or, hey, I'm curious as to, like, what kind of pens you have at your house. All that stuff is indicative of, I need you as the guy to take the reins of this and not make it look like my fault that I'm going to go to your place or that you're coming to my place, because I want that to happen, but I can't be the public figure that's making it happen. I'll be too heavily judged. So hopefully, guy, that answers your question. For the rest of you guys, if you want to write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. I'm going to be changing some stuff on my website very, very soon. And when I move, I'm going to have a whole different backdrop, and I'll have to set up some stuff there. But we're going to be changing up some stuff in September, so you guys stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm still putting out, like, I usually do lives on Saturdays, but again, I've been doing stuff. So I've been putting up interviews they're all new interviews that I've been putting up for you guys to check out. So you can definitely check those interviews out. I have a new one coming out this Saturday as well at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. So definitely be there for that. But thank you guys so much for watching, for all the support. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back later with some more advice for you guys. I'm out. Peace. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Harry Dating Convos. Don't forget to visit HarryWilmington.com to download my free ebook, Texting Women Like a Boss. And while you're there, if you're ready to take things to the next level with your dating life, check out the Get Girls Academy membership program for exclusive strategies and live coaching. Go to HarryWilmington.com to learn more and join today. Lastly, if you've got a question you'd like answered on one of these shows, leave a comment below or write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.